So hello guys, welcome to Javaism, and in this video we can talk about Thymleaf in the Spring Boot MVC. Okay, so basically we are going to understand the core concept of the Thymleaf, how we introduce Thymleaf in the Spring Boot MVC. So let's start now. So in the Spring Web MVC modules, we are using generally JSP as a presentation technology. Traditionally, this GSP is the default choice for generating the HTML file. So whenever you are using the JSP, it means that internally JSP will convert to the in which file? Servlet, and servlet will represent as a HTML files while building a web applications. Okay, so JSP is very mature technology. It's very old also. Okay, people are using a lots earlier. Okay, let's understand some important point to know about JSP. Okay, important point of GSP. The important point number one is GSP is not a template engine. GSP is not a template engine. Okay, it will not render it will not render web page directly to browser. It will compile internally, then after it will render to the our browsers. Let's understand the second point. JSP files will be converted into servlet to produce response on browser. So I hope if you know the servlet, you know inside the servlet we are using out.println, and inside this we are writing a hard code or our HTML files, HTML tags. Okay, but after that they will come up with the JSP and they will introduce the JSP technology. Hey, you don't want to write the everything inside the servlet files. Let it be servlet is separate file and JSP is the separate files, and JSP represent as a UI technology. Okay, so whatever the things tag basis programming we are writing inside the JSP, those are internally converted, compiled, then after it will convert to the servlet, and servlet will produce the tag based and those response to the browsers. So internally it's happening. It's a old technology, so I'm not going to talk about too much about it. Okay, let's move to the Thymleaf and let's understand why Thymleaf. Okay, why Thymleaf? Why people are switching to the Thymleaf? We are going to understand. So point number one, Thymleaf is a true template engine. Thymleaf is a true template engines. Template engine means it will directly render to the browser. True template engine with which takes HTML file and parse it and then produce web content on browser. Web content on the browsers directly. So what I'm saying, Thymeleaf is a true template engines, okay, which takes HTML files, and also parse it and the reproduce the web content on the browser directly. There is no compile, there is no conversion will happen like a JSP. It will directly render and parse it to the browser. So that is the benefit number one we have while using the Thymeleaf. Let's talk about second point. Thymeleaf is more like a HTML view. Thymeleaf is more like HTML view. It's look like a HTML only. Okay. Point number 3. Using a Thymeleaf, we can display dynamics data in HTML files. We can display data into the HTML files dynamically. That is also possible. Thymeleaf will give some tags, some attribute. You have to use those attributes. Okay. Let's go to the fourth point. Why it's very popular nowadays. Okay. So a Spring Boot support for Thymeleaf. Spring Boot support for the Thymeleaf as a presentation technology or representation technology, you can say. Okay, so a Spring Boot is also started supporting. If you go to the Spring Boot website, they are supporting to this particular technology, which is Thymeleaf. Okay, because of the directly render to the template engines, and it will just parse the files. So it's very easy to use for the developers. Okay, that's why a Spring Boot is also focusing on that. Okay, let's start and try to understand how we can start working with Thymeleaf. That is also very important things. Okay, how we can start working with Thymeleaf. Okay, so working with Thymeleaf in a Spring Boot project, that is also very important point. Okay, so you are new for the Thymeleaf, might be. Okay, so previously we have learned the JSP technology and we have understand how we can use the JSP with the Spring Boot. Now we are going to learn about the Thymeleaf. Okay, and Thymeleaf directly supporting who? A Spring Boot also. So it's a very in the demand also in the market. Lots of the companies are using this particular Thymeleaf technology to develop their monolithic applications. Okay, in that case Thymeleaf is very good technology. Okay, if you want to develop some library tools, you can take the help of the Thymeleaf and you can easily design it. Okay, let's start now. To use Thymeleaf in your project which is a Spring Boot. Provide below a starter. So if you want to use Thymeleaf in your project, a Spring Boot provided some below a starter dependency which you have to use in your project. Okay, what is those dependency? So those are nothing but Thymeleaf dependency. Okay, or Thymeleaf library or jar, you can say. The jar is org dot spring framework dot boot. Okay, and this is the artifact id spring boot starter thymeleaf THYM thymeleaf. Okay, so this is the dependency which you have to use in your project to develop the thymeleaf applications. This is the one dependency is enough. Okay, we no need to do any other configurations to work with thymeleaf. Okay, next point. A Spring Boot will inject all required configurations to work with thymeleaf. He will provide each and everything to you. Okay, just you have to add those dependency, nothing else. Okay, next point. What is the step we have to follow to develop a Spring Boot application with the thymeleaf? Okay, step to follow, step to develop a Spring Boot plus thymeleaf project. Okay, so I'm going to guide you what is the step to develop a Spring Boot project. Okay, first things what you have to do, open your STS. This is the first step. In the first step, once you open your STS, create a Spring Boot project. Create a Spring Boot project with some dependency. The first dependency you have to carry is web starter. Okay, second one is thymeleaf starter, or you can say spring.boot.web.starters, like that also you can say, but I'm just giving the shortcut. Okay, so a Spring Web thymeleaf starter, or thymeleaf you can just say, and third one is dev tools for the rerun your applications. Okay, nothing else. So once you provide all those details, it's enough to develop your Spring Boot application. This is the dev tools. That's it. This is the three dependencies are required. What is the second point? My STS is open. Let's launch it. What is the second point? Create controller class and required method. Create controller class and required methods. Required method to check your application is working properly or not. Okay, those things we can check. Next thing is what? Third thing is create HTML view. Create HTML view. Create HTML view files. Okay, using thymeleaf. What is the files? and where you have to create those files. So that is the extension of HTML files, but location is locations of view. You have to give src slash main slash resources slash template. Inside this you can create all your files, which is view files. Okay, and we can render those files automatically. You don't want to specify or configure any locations also. Okay, just you have to configure your application port number, that's it, and then after start your application and test it. Okay, configure port and test your application. Test your applications. Okay, so this is the steps you have to follow. The main things you have to remember here is you have to add this two dependency, which is web starter, it's a web application, and it's a Thymleaf also. Then it will only support, otherwise it will not support. And second thing is, whenever you are creating any HTML files, it should be inside the template folders. Okay, so I will explain you one by one each and everything. Okay, so let's go to the STS. I have opened something, let's close it. Okay, and here we have already created project number 9, so I am going to create project number 10. So new Spring Starter project. Okay, I will give the project name called Spring Boot 010, which is 10, and Thymleaf F1. Okay, package is com.app. This is the Thymleaf demo project for the Spring Boot. Next, here I want to select some dependencies, so I can select just DevTools, web dependency, and one more dependency which is nothing but Thymleaf, Thymleaf, Thymleaf. This is the three dependency which we require to develop our applications. Okay, let's click next and finish it. Once you finish these applications, and make sure you have connected your data so that it will download all those required jar, which is Thymleaf jar, web jar, DevTools jars, so that you can easily work with that project. Okay, so this is the Thymleaf applications which is getting ready in sometimes. It's not structured properly right now. Okay, next things, our project is created with this particular dependency we have added. Now what we have to do, we have to create a controller class and require method. Then after we have to create the view files inside the src main resources template. So let's go to the STS, open the Thymleaf project, go to the controller. So I don't have any controller package here, so I will create one class with package called controllers, and I will give the user controller also. Dot controller is a package, and user controller is my controller name. So this is the new controller which I have created. What I have to annotate here, @controller. Okay, in the Spring MVC definitely you have to use only @controller. In RESTful services we have to use @REST controllers. Okay, here I am going to create one method which is public string, which is going to return one view name, which is HTML file name. Previously we are returning the JSP file name, now we are going to return HTML file name, a string, and get home page. Okay, and here I am going to annotate this @get mapping with the home page slash home. Okay, and here I will return the same page, return home page, home page. This is my page name. We don't want to provide the extension like a GSP. We have not provided any extension for the GSP. In the same way, we don't want to provide here also. Okay, so this is the home page. This page we have to create inside the src main resources. Once you click on that, you can see one folder called template. Inside the template, you can click the right click, go to the new. Here you can see HTML, but not able to see, so click on others. Search here HTML. You got HTML files. Click on that. Here you can give the name called home page or HTML. We have already selected here, creating a new file of HTML. Just go to the next and just finish it. So it will create one HTML file. Okay, this file is available here. Now I'm going to write some tags. Hey H1, welcome to home page. Welcome to home page. I will save this particular also, and we have to call slash home. If I want to specify any port numbers, I can specify it, but I don't want to specify any other port numbers. I want to run my application on default port number 8080. So let's start your applications. Okay, run as a Spring Boot app. Once you start your application will be started on the default port number, which is 8080. So let's see your application is started or not. So if you go here, you can see your application is started, okay, which is default port number 8080. Go to the browsers, type here localhost 8080. We are getting what? The application has no explicit mapping, so our endpoint is what? Slash home. So we can type slash home endpoint. Once you hit this endpoint, it's saying internal server error. Okay, error resolving a template home page. Template might not exist or might not accessible by any of the configured template resolvers. The Thymleaf exception, Thymleaf input exceptions error resolving a template homepage. Template might not be exist or might not be accessed by any of the configured template resolver. So it's saying like template we are not able to find out. What is the name of our template? Home page. Okay, why he not able to find out? This one we have to understand. Okay. So whenever you see the view resolver issue, it means that this home page they are not able to find out internally. Okay, so home page is not available. It's saying like inside the template like inside the template folders. So what we can do is we can provide the prefix or suffix also as a path in the application.properties file. Otherwise, you can just change the port number which is running by default. Once you change the port numbers, try to clean your project once. Okay, right click on your project, go to clean and clean the project. Once you clean the project, and let's see in which port number your application is running now. So it's the latest port number 8082 port number it's running. Go to the browsers now and type localhost 8082 and hit the enter button. You are able to redirect now and you are able to see your data also. If you go to the again home HTML page, and this is the page 1, and try to render it because we have already added the dev tools, so I think it will reflect. So let's go to the browsers and try to refresh this page. You can see page 1 is reflecting here. Okay. And other thing is, like, if you are not able to resolve after changing the port number also, then what you can do is you can provide this Spring Thymeleaf, like how we are providing the GSP locations of our view files. In the same way, you can copy these things and you can paste inside the spring dot properties files, which is spring dot thymeleaf dot prefix class path, this location, resources, and then after slash template slash. Okay, and then after you can relocate your html file dot htmls and you can provide those files. Okay, after that also, if you test your application, it will work fine. Okay, let's go to the this page and try to hit the enters, and you can see page is loading properly. Okay, thank you so much. We can see in the next video.